Welcome back to Life's Challenge. My name is Avital, and this week's Parshat is Parshat Tavo. And Parshat Tavo is pretty famous for listing the blessings and the curses that will befall the Jewish people if they adhere to the list of commandments that we just saw throughout the Torah, or if they choose not to observe those commandments. And the overarching sort of theme, it goes through and lists 12 sorts of actions that people could take where they would, where curses would befall them for their actions. And the overarching sort of theme, it's not an idea original to me, but it's an important one, is that the 12 actions listed teach us that what happens behind our closed doors really does matter. So in order to get a better understanding of that, I'll go ahead and list those 12 different actions that people could take where Torah says that they would be cursed for them. So the first one is someone who makes a graven image and puts it up in secret. So we do have this prohibition, this commandment, not to make graven molten images, things that depict other deities or sort of things that people would worship, idols. The second one was someone who degrades his or her parents. So who doesn't, again, it's one of the 10 commandments to honor your mother and your father. The third one, someone who moves a property line of a neighbor. The fourth one who causes the blind to go astray. So it's, again, that idea of placing a stumbling block before a blind person, whether that's a literal blind person or doing something to someone who doesn't understand or can't see in the metaphorical sense what sort of stumbling block, again, what you are placing in front of them that might cause them to go astray or to fall. The next one was one who perverts judgment of a widow, stranger, or an orphan. Again, people who maybe would have a harder time representing or standing up for themselves. The 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th all relate to forbidden sexual relationships amongst primarily people in your own family. The next one is someone who strikes his or her fellow stealthily, so in a manner that is not exactly apparent. Next would be one who takes a bribe to kill someone innocent. And finally, it's one who doesn't uphold the words of the Torah. And so then it goes ahead and it lists the consequences for someone who doesn't follow in these, who goes against, again, these 12 behaviors, and the blessings for somebody who does sort of observe them. And again, what's very interesting here is all of these things could be done, again, in secret, in your own home. Nobody would necessarily have to know about them. And what's so interesting about that is that our actions when we are in private really do make a difference. Because in a sense, when we are in public, it's much easier to behave in a proper way because we have societal expectations, we have the judgments of other peoples, we feel a certain desire perhaps to behave correctly because we have all of these people who are watching us and who are going to judge our behaviors. And that makes us act a little bit better than we might in the comfort of our own homes. But then we go home, and how we really behave in our homes is even more telling than how we behave in public because it's more about who we are at our core. If you think about the one that lists someone who degrades his mother or father, like, how do we behave with our families in our own homes? Do we treat them with respect? Are we maybe more edgy or more angry with them than we would be with a total stranger in public? And what does that say about us if we don't have the same patience for our own family that we have for random strangers we come across in our day-to-day lives? These 12, again, behaviors are a reflection on our inner selves, on who we are when no one is looking. And that, again, is a deeper reflection of who we are as people. And so I wish you all a wonderful week and Shabbat Shalom, and I look forward to speaking with you next time.